Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another tasty episode of Shameless Shit Sequel Shuffle. Say that 3 times fast. So,
Shameless Shit Sequel Shuffle.
today we are reviewing Bridget Jones' Diary 2, The Edge of Reason.
She lost her reason.
The Edge of
She lost a lot of things.
Reason of the season. That is the treason that this movie
Can you find any more?
turns upon
Words.
Liam Neeson. So he teams up with Jackie Gleason to
Pinky stock.
Vicky, you're an English major. Give me some Zon words.
For this movie? Are there any more that you can add to this movie?
Cohesion?
Yeah.
Cohesion? I guess cohesion can work, yeah.
Drop the mic. Boom. So, and McFisticuffs isn't here, unfortunately. Because
He watched
there are some things I want to say that relates to his views of the last movie. But we do have 3 fine gentlemen here. And well, 2 fine gentlemen and a hamster.
Oh.
Wow.
There's no reason to talk about Stray like that.
Oh, you want to fight?
Wow.
Hey, when is my contract up?
You die.
What? I read that file.
So, we have, well, let's start with Stray, since he's already been mentioned. Stray.
I hate you all, and I want my content.
I heard that he hates us all and he wants his contact lenses.
His contract canceled, which he can't.
And then we
You
have
guys and your...
Gio.
We'll see. Oh, everyone. I got nothing.
Yeah, because I just cut your sentences in half like a sword. And then we have Vicky.
Hello? I write books.
Not very good books.
And soon,
Shut up.
Soon,
Shut up. Be quiet. Be quiet.
I'm just gonna
I
see
write
about
very
teach
good-
college
Vicky's like,
students.
you get enough.
You're gonna teach college students, and one of them's gonna get famous, and he's not gonna thank you for being famous.
You don't know, Stray. You're gonna turn around and you're gonna see, oh, that guy's my new teacher. Oh, that name looks familiar. Why am I getting all these F's?
That's totally not going to happen.
It's gonna be, you're gonna get like 3 papers back, and one's gonna say F, the other one's gonna say F, and the last one's gonna say Canadian F.
Can I get an Asian F?
An Asian F?
No.
Okay, no.
Oh, you can't get
There's
an
no
Asian.
such thing.
It's called a B, apparently.
It's called anything below an A,
There you go.
So a B.
or a C, or a D.
So, let's talk about this beautiful movie.
Beautiful. What the hell are you on?
Sarcasm.
Magic.
The Gathering?
Yes. I chop the cards into little sprinkles, and then I burn them in the ashes and just snort that right up.
Oh,
And that's why I look like a Visitrix. So, our movie begins a lot like the last movie. It was a very
Completely
nice...
like the last movie.
It's like deja vu.
This whole movie is like deja vu for a bunch of places.
Yeah, that's true. But I did like the initial callback to the last movie. I thought it was pretty clever. Until that ended and they started running into each other's arms, like, over a meadow. That was terrible. Let's just get into the meat of my problem with this compared to the last movie. Because there's a huge difference in quality. And the main problem is, all the things that McFisticuffs hated about the last movie that I didn't see, that was in this movie.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
So basically, he pointed out the faults and then you started hating it even more.
It's just, if he said everything he said in the last movie about this movie, we would be in 100% agreement. Because everyone in this movie is kind of douchey, especially Bridget Jones herself. In this movie, I did not like her character at all. And I hated all her friends. I don't know why they even brought Hugh Grant back. That was kind of pointless.
Because they needed him, again, because he was in cover.
Like, it seems like a lot of filler in this movie. So, my main problem is Bridget Jones herself.
It's the clumsiest person I've ever seen.
Well, she is clumsy. But it's just, one, she had so much self-confidence.
At the end of the last one.
To the point of annoying. It's like, you won already. Why are you still second-guessing yourself at every single turn?
Because she saw Mark Darcy's secretary. She's like, he must be having an affair on me. That's the only thing.
Automatically. He must be
it's the automatic assumption for women to expect their boyfriend or significant others to be cheating with the secretary because he's a businessman. I mean, a lawyer.
He's a lawyer.
Well, it's not cool. If someone dies, that doesn't mean the butler did it. It means I did it.
Yeah, like when Batman died. That doesn't mean that it was Alfred.
Yeah, Alfred would never do that.
Except for one comic.
Her friends give particularly bad advice, which is pretty bad because in this movie, she almost never makes any of her own decisions.
Yeah, it's her friends who always ruin her shit.
Follow their decision.
You shouldn't give smoking and drinking. Okay.
Isn't it like, why is she even trying to quit smoking? What happened to I like you just as you are? He didn't say, except for smoking. I don't like that. You need to stop. Just, you don't need to hide it. I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter. And then, she is so self-conscious. On this one, this pretty much in every movie in chick flick, just across the board. Like, when two people in a movie get done having sex, and then she gets up out of the bed and she needs to cover herself up as she gets out of the bed so no one can see her. Even though that makes no sense because they just saw everything.
I had the same feeling about that. I was like, why is she covering herself up?
Like they said at the very beginning of this movie, they had sex 71 times already. So, kinda doesn't matter. He's seen the wobbly parts. If he didn't like the wobbly parts, he wouldn't be dating her right now. So, another thing. They've been together for 6 months. And she is already obsessed with babies and marriage. I'm like, oh my god. Really? 6 months, that's all. That's just getting started. Bridget, you're breaking my heart.
I've got a question. And, do you actually like the character?
I can't say I do. She was okay in the first movie, she was bad in this movie, and that means neutral. There was potential, Stray.
There was potential. Seriously.
When you get past all the squinting Renee Zellweger does for no reason, because
She
this
can't
movie
help it.
is longer than the last movie, and you can feel it. And I found myself getting sidetracked by noticing just how much she squints in this movie when she doesn't have to.
I'm sure she couldn't help squinting so much. I mean, that's a natural thing, I'm sure.
No,
like
yeah.
having brown eyes.
She could use glasses.
It's like having brown eyes. You can't help having brown eyes.
Contacts.
We should play Brock in a live-action Pokemon movie.
Actually, Ziggy, you can fix your eye color. Contacts. Colored contacts.
Dang it! Don't mess up my reality. I had a perfect argument.
I proves your argument wrong.
Well, the squinting. Natural.
She needs to get her eyes checked.
Maybe she should.
She needs some clear eye. The other thing is, goodness, she's pretty obsessed with sex at this point. I'm like, is he that good? Because that's all she's been talking about for the first 10 minutes of the film. We had sex. Sex is sex. That's sex.
I think they put that in there so the guys would actually watch this movie.
No.
I don't think that would work.
No, I think it's think about it. How many other dudes has she been with besides Darcy?
Hugh Grant.
And
yeah, before him, there was a long period of time. So
yeah, so it was a while. And it was like for a while she had nothing, and then she had for one night Hugh Grant, and then she's had Darcy, Colin Firth for like how long has it been?
6 months.
6 months.
Now, the main problem, though, is her lack of self-confidence and her courage and her inability to make her own decisions that lead her to make stupid decisions in this movie that could all be completely avoided. Because her...
Again?
Yes, but both of the times that she and Mr. Darcy have an argument, they're both completely her fault, and they were both really stupid reasons to break up. Well, not completely, but because Mr. Darcy, he was being a bit prickish, but it didn't take all the drama that she had to force in there. It's just, right now in this movie, she's like the physical incarnation of every attribute of women I dislike. That's what she is.
All men dislike?
Yes. And, like, another attribute she has is when she does something and she expects you to respond in a certain way without telling you. So, like, you didn't stay with me, prick. You didn't ask him to stay with you. Why do you... I'm gonna punch you in your face. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to punch you in the face. There is a scene early on. I think it's one of two scenes that I got some humor out of. But only because... Not because of the movie, it's just the thought of it.
The shrooms?
No. I said early on. That was way later. It was when she's staring at him. Mr. Darcy doesn't like to be stared at. And she's like, is he gonna ask me a question? And it's like, can I ask you a question, Jones? And she's like, yes. And I don't remember what question he asked her. But if this movie took place in America... No, this is right after... I know what it is. This is right after he told her that he loved her. Which, again, is completely obvious. But apparently that's a big deal.
She is very self-conscious, apparently.
Yes, she is. So he's like, yes, what are you going to tell me? And I'm like, if this was America, the next question, like, would be, can you make me a sandwich? That's the cycle. Like, that's what happens. It's like, I like you. That's the first level. Then the second level is, I love you. Then the third level is, will you make me a sandwich? And if they make you that sandwich, that's marriage.
Yeah. That's
But,
American
you
way.
know, she didn't make a sandwich. So, that's why they broke up. At least in my version, that's how it happened.
Is this going to become Mamma Mia, where we rewrite half the movie?
I don't...
No, Mamma Mia had no backstory. This one does. So. Mamma Mia had no backstory. This one does. So we can't really write our own story.
The second big argument was after the skiing trip. And, you know, it's all those self-conscious feelings heighten up, and she gives 3 reasons. 3 reasons why she's breaking up with Mr. Darcy. 3 incredibly...
No. She broke up with him after the trip because she got a message. She checked his answering machine while he was taking a dump, and it was a message from his secretary.
No. This is immediately after that, like right before she leaves the door.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that's when it happened. But was that directly after the ski trip?
Yeah.
I don't even remember. I thought it was like something between that.
Yeah.
So, like, the 3 reasons she gives. First reason. She's not perfect. Really? Is that so surprising? You have to be perfect to be with someone else?
Don't forget reason 2. I don't like the way you fold your underpants.
Yeah, the second reason
slacks.
is he's not perfect. Which completely defeats the purpose of the first reason. Oh, you fold your underpants weird. Again, what happened to I like you just as you are? What happened to that? It's gone.
Apparently can only go so far.
It goes as far as how you fold your underpants.
Wasn't she saying that he wanted someone perfect and was getting tired of trying to make someone perfect?
Oh, the VIP room.
Yeah. He wants to have someone who is already perfect and not something he doesn't have.
That.
I know. She thinks that he doesn't want to have to work for it.
I thought it was like at the dinner where the fat guy was talking to her about that.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's how she got the idea.
She's just self-conscious about that secretary. That's the whole point. She's self-conscious about that secretary.
For no reason.
Yeah, especially when we find out for no reason.
And then the last part is that he's not willing to fight for her. Again, the last movie where he literally fought for her and then broke off a job in New York to stay here with her.
He's totally not fighting for her, right?
Yeah.
Hakuna Matata?
So, let's
well, obviously, she totally retconned the movie in her head. For her, the whole movie, except for the part where she just suddenly got together with him, didn't happen. He never fought for her. The only thing that happened is that her ex-boss is a dumbass. She got a new job, and he's in love with her. She totally ignores the fact that everything else happened. Selective amnesia. She has selective amnesia.
It's like the first movie never happened.
More or less.
I wish, this would be such a much better movie if that was the plot of the movie. She got in a car crash, and it's like 50 First Dates. So with Bridget Jones' Diary.
I would rather watch 50 First Dates rather than Bridget Jones' Diary again.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen. Because that's actually a decent movie.
That's not a chick. That has Adam Sandler. You can't have Adam Sandler.
One of Adam Sandler's few decent movies these days. We're going to flip the script because we do have to talk about Hugh Grant. And it is one thing about Hugh Grant's character, Mr. Cleaver, that I don't understand. Why is he on television? He used to own a big, huge British publishing company.
What part of retconning?
Kind of a downgrade?
What kind of retconning the last movie would you get?
So we retconned the last movie, and we're at the edge of reason now?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty much. Like, what is happening?
Also, apparently, within those 6 months, he no longer works at the. Wasn't he the president or the owner?
Yeah, he's like
Yeah,
he was high up
something.
there.
He was he was like very high up there, and all of a sudden now he's working on a TV show as
Not
the
just
host.
a TV show. It's not, because it's
A
part of the
travel-
local news channel. So it's not even like travel channel stuff.
Maybe he got fired.
After that fight, they were like, oh, this is too violent.
Or he slept with someone's wife that he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
I'd take the second part.
Yeah, I'll take
Story
the
makes
second
sense.
one.
The second story
Second one
sense.
makes sense in the storyline.
There you go. That's how it ends up on TV.
This part is kind of pointless to me. If you could take it out, and the movie would still be fun on its own. Like, you don't need Hugh Grant for her to have a reason to go to Taiwan. She works as a news reporter. That's reason enough.
Yeah.
And the drama that they tried to create by inserting Hugh Grant into the movie is ruined by the end of this arc.
It was just so they can have another fight scene where we see that Colin Firth can whoop Hugh Grant's ass.
All day long. I have to say, I did enjoy that fight scene. Because
At least it had better music.
I wasn't expecting another fight scene. So I did enjoy it when it showed up. It was very short, and it wasn't as cool as the last one.
I will say that they had better music.
Here's the thing with this. She keeps talking about how much she hates Mr. Cleaver. Blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, okay, I'll go to Taiwan with you, but nothing's gonna happen. Blah, blah, blah. And then, what happens? Hey, you wanna go to my balcony? No. They teleport. They literally teleport to the balcony.
Did you hear a band?
Do you trust me? Never. Then she trusts her. It's like, what is this mojo you've got going on, Hugh Grant? What is this power?
It's the power of Hughes. Didn't we talk about it earlier?
Yeah, that charisma.
Yeah. It's just like, whatever a woman doesn't want to do, he can make them do it. Just by being Hugh Grant. Like, you notice, he didn't compliment her once in this entire movie, except for maybe her granny panties. He just insulted her over and over in this movie, and it's like, man, that guy's a douche. I'm gonna sleep with him. It's just basically almost what happened.
No, that happened in the last movie, remember?
It also happened in the last movie, but at least in the last movie, it was made sense. You couldn't take it out. It was more important to the last movie. Like I said, here, this entire part of the movie could be stripped away and you wouldn't miss much. They're about to have some extreme Bridget Jones snoo because, Bridget Jones, she just loves that sex. And she is wearing those granny panties, so, Hugh Grant, he just loves those granny panties.
Yes, apparently.
She gets some second thoughts, so she goes in the restroom and thinks about things for a few minutes, and I'm pretty sure she decided to sleep with him, despite her mixed emotions, until the magical Asian prostitute shows up, and that is when everything becomes, all of the Hugh Grant storyline just became pointless. Because if she had slept with him, or she decided to not sleep with him on her own, it would have meant more, it would have had more dramatic tension. But now they're just saying, oh yeah, he's a scumbag, you have a right to leave him. There's a prostitute. It's like, it's a way out. It's too easy. I don't like it. And that the prostitute ended up being a man, I don't even know what to think about that.
Wait, what?
Well, it's Thailand. So,
yeah, he did mention that.
We saw The Hangover.
Yeah.
Why did they make a part
Because why not?
Part 1 was successful.
And we love Zach Galifianakis.
Me too.
And that's why we have a sequel to Bridget Jones' Diary.
No.
And why is it getting a second sequel?
We have a sequel to Bridget Jones' Diary because there's a second book. It's getting a second sequel because some people hate us.
But it needs a prequel to explain what happens in these 6 months.
No, the prequel is to show what happens after she has her baby or when she's pregnant.
Then you have the height. Yeah, the height of the dramatic moment. And she goes to prison because the guy her friend was having a fling with was shipping over, I guess it was cocaine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because, he's a young guy and her friend's stupid.
Right. Even that plot line is stupid. Because once he gets the cocaine over there, it would just sit there. She was not going to sell the cocaine because she didn't know it was there. No one's going to go pick up that cocaine because no one knows who she is. So, this script is so poorly written.
They just wanted cocaine in that country. And then
they wanted an excuse.
Later around.
They wanted an excuse for Bridget to see that Darcy would fight for her.
Yeah, it's a plot device. A weak one at that.
But plot devices have to make sense.
It doesn't matter. It's an excuse to get the lawyer in the prison.
And that's all that is, really. Mr. Dark
go to prison.
Up, says, "Hey, I'm a lawyer. Get out." She's like, leaves. She leaves her prison friends, and that's
don't forget the whole scene where after he says he's gonna get her out. I think she talks to all the women in there, how much she hates her boyfriend and how he treated her bad, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. My boyfriend hit me all the time.
My boyfriend beats me every day. My boyfriend
makes me go out
heroin. And it makes me eat heroin sandwiches.
My boyfriend makes me go out on streets and turn tricks."
Then she just realized it's all known from the very beginning of this movie. Yeah, you're kind of an idiot.
And they're like, "What did your boyfriend do?" And she's like, "Oh, well, he folds his underwear weird, and I don't like that." He hits me and heroin and stuff.
And then she comes back to the prison to give them men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Like, that's going to stop them from getting beaten? They're already in a prison. Obviously, they stabbed someone. That stopped them from getting beaten.
That and they can't sing like a virgin.
No, they can't.
Like a virgin.
You can't sing.
Can't even say virgin, can they?
No, they can't.
It's terrible.
And I didn't understand the thing with the bra. That.
When
they exchanged for the cigarette. I think.
Yes.
Prison cash.
Yeah.
Bra is prison cash.
Yeah.
So if this was a man prison, would they be exchanging underwear?
No, they would not be exchanging underwear.
They'd be trading bitches.
Yeah.
Prison bitches.
Oh, yeah.
It's strange now. Now that I think about it. Because, when all female prisons, they're usually pretty full of lesbians. I mean, women get raped in female prisons, too, by other women. Yeah. None of the women in the prison were lesbians. But as soon as you get out of the prison, you find out that the woman that Mr. Darcy was apparently cheating with was a lesbian. Who was completely in love with Bridget Jones for no reason. I mean, look at that squinty face. No one can love that squinty face. You don't need to do the squinty face. Bridget Jones, she gets out of prison because of Mr. Darcy. She goes back to her friends who got her in all this trouble to begin with, because she's a dumbass.
Mm-hmm.
And her friends are dumbasses, too.
All of them. I liked them in the first movie. Well, most of them. I still hate that black girl with the squeaky voice. But here, not so much. And they explain all the lengths that Mr. Darcy went through to break her out of prison. and to find, what was that guy's name? Jedi?
Jeb?
Jeb?
Jeb, I think was his name.
Who names their kid Jeb nowadays?
No,
Lily?
isn't that what? Like, I don't want to bring it back to Star Wars, but didn't Ewok say Jeb Jeb? Isn't that their thing?
The guy that played him also played Judas in The Passion of the Christ.
Oh wow.
Well, we know that he was gonna spend those 30 pieces of silver. This time, Bridget Jones decides to fight for Mr. Darcy. And by fight, I mean take a taxi cab, then stop at a clothing store for 20, 30, 40 minutes, and then go outside and ask the taxi cab man, how does she look? Over and over and over again. It was basically a shopping montage, except miniaturized.
Thank God. It's like we don't love montages on this podcast because of how many montages we had to watch.
And this is a running joke. Well, before we get to that, this is the other thing that made me laugh. She goes to Mr. Darcy's place of work. She bursts into the wrong door and confesses her love to an old person. I don't know why. That just amused me. That amused me more than the frown on Bridget Jones' face after they mentioned Tom the happy hamster. So she gets to the right door, and it's a reoccurring thing in Bridget Jones, this movie anyway, that every time she wants to say something personal, there's like 40 old people around.
Didn't that happen in the previous movie, kind of?
I'm pretty sure it did at some point. I can't remember because that movie isn't worth remembering.
Like this movie, we won't remember any of this. If you try asking us about this movie afterwards,
I will remember how much this movie doesn't make sense. That's what I would remember. And
we'll forget about it.
I mean, we probably won't talk much about the soundtrack since McFisticuff isn't here. But yeah. I always hate it when Crazy in Love is in any movie ever. I just think it's completely and totally cheesy. That's almost as bad as Dancing Queen for me.
And reasons you hate Mamma Mia?
Hey, I gave it a 3.
Unlike me, who gave it a 2.
So, she goes there, she confesses her love to Mr. Darcy. Mr. Darcy's about to ask her to marry him, but she almost screws it up with her being Bridget Jones. And she realizes this, so she retcons herself, just like the directors retconned everything in this movie and the previous movie. She retcons herself and does it all over again so that they can get married and have a happy ending. The last shot in the movie is with the mom and the dad because they're getting remarried. And man, does everyone on the mom's side just look like sad pelicans. That's what I see when I see those really violet purple dresses. It's just sad pelicans. And Bridget catches the bouquet. Oh my gosh!
And for a third movie.
And this is like it just upsets me that after defending the first movie, this movie just stepped on everything I defended about it. So much worse. So much worse.
Can I give this movie a 0.1 since I can't give it a 0?
You can give it a
0 is not existed.
That's what you have my permission to give it. A 5 out of 5. Want to be that?
Thank God.
X-Play.
Yeah.
I can't ever give a 0. I have to at least give it a 1, but this isn't deserving of a 1.
It doesn't deserve to exist.
I pretty much got everything I had to say. Well, except for my final view, but those are like all the things that just make this movie horrible for me. How about you, Ziggy?
I would have to agree with you on every aspect of it. I mean, really, I see no reason for this to exist. I really don't.
I just don't like the movie in general.
And I was actually looking for it. I was looking for that reason for this movie to exist, and I couldn't find it.
It made money.
So, Gio, what was your opinion on this movie?
I hate it.
And that wraps it up.
Yep.
Stray.
I wish I could, be drunk when I watch it, but
I wouldn't have made it.
You know, my review of all these movies is going to be, I hate it, and don't make me review the next sequel.
Well, the next one's not us. You're a good strike.
Yes, but when it comes out on DVD, I'm afraid that end over there will make us review it.
But we have to. We must. Because we saw 2 other movies.
The trilogy. It's like Lord of the Rings.
Exactly. You gotta finish what you started.
Yeah. I'm gonna figure out a way from act to end before then. And also, if we have to watch all the sequels, I'm going to somehow slip Twilight into the mix.
You really want to review Twilight? That's what that is.
Once you watch Bridget Jones 3, then you have my permission to quit. Bridget Jones 3, Bridget Jones Rising.
We should throw like Stray in a hole with one television that just shows Bridget Jones 3 over and over again. He has to climb out
after breaking his back.
Well, I gave the last movie a 3.5. If that's a 3.5, then this movie is a 2 for me. Like I said, the script sucks, but there are redeeming qualities with some parts that are humorous. It wasn't badly filmed or anything. It wasn't badly acted. It was just not a very good movie.
That cab dude. I wonder how much money she owed. I wonder how much money she owed the guy in the cab.
Oh.
It's like, I'll be out in 2 seconds. 20 minutes later.
He probably froze him with Blue Steel or Magnum. Man,
we should review that movie instead.
Magnum. Squint.